good enough. It's good enough. Let's just get started. Not even gonna roll the intro because we're running late. But let's just get started. Welcome everyone to 4GwQPodcast podcast, episode 34, March 19th, 2015. This week, you may notice we have a special guest with us, Xbox VIP, also personal chef, also Upload Studio connoisseur, Chef Big Willie. Welcome.
Hey gamers, it's me, Chef Big Willie, and it is a pleasure to be on this awesome podcast and Twitch cast with the four guys with quarters. Oh yeah.
Wow, that voice was made for radio. That voice was made for radio.
I got a face built for it too. That's what everybody's always telling me. Oh, you got a face for radio. Get off the TV.
Nice. All right, well, this week we've got our usual crew here. We got Clowns.
What's up?
We got Turtle, even though he sounds a little muffled.
Hi.
See, as you can hear. And we've got Assassin. What's up, Assassin?
What's up?
All right, so this week we thought we'd do, a little something different. Get, a good Twitch streamer on and, do a little Q&A with him and find out what it's like to be an Xbox VIP, if you will. And, yeah, why don't we just get to it? We'll also talk about a little bit of Hardline. One of Chef Big Willie's favorites, I'm sure, right?
Absolutely.
You've been streaming that a lot lately. And, yeah, we'll talk about some other gaming news. But first, let us do our... we're gonna skip press start this week, too, unfortunately. Because we're running a little behind. But we will get to Q&A. So, Clowns, why don't you ask the first question? Because you had a question for Big Willie. Just open it up, with the question you wanted to ask him.
I had tons of questions. But
all right, well, you start with your first question, the question you want to ask him first. Go ahead.
All right. So, how did you come up with your gamer tag? I kind of like it. It's pretty interesting.
Well, I'm 6'7", and I'm a big guy. It's interesting. I talk about it a lot in my broadcast. As a gamer, I've gone up in weight before and been, 400 pounds. So there's a big part of the Big Willie. And I'm at 240 through eating healthy and stuff, that a lot to do with like gaming and like healthy meals that I'm definitely trying to promote. And one of the things I really like to talk about with the name is that I've been a chef for 15 years, so it just kind of naturally went hand in hand. And if you guys want to stand out in this gaming world, it's cool to have a gamer tag like XX Sniper 123 Elite 5. But, Chef Big Willie is the only Chef Big Willie around, so it's definitely a unique name, and it's catchy. It's rememberable.
Dude, that's a good point. That's an incredible point. Like, what other chef is on Xbox? Like, come on now.
There is a lot of chefs on here. Charmin Extra Soft is actually a cook. I think gaming and food really goes hand in hand. I mean, I love to eat. I love to game. Gaming is the dream for a living, but cooking was also a joy to make a living on. At 36 years old, I've been a successful chef for over 15 years, so it's definitely, paid the bills, but oh man, I'd love to pay them with gaming. Oh wow, I'm hearing myself through your broadcast now. Oops.
Creepy, huh? So how did you get into streaming? Like, why streaming? You said you love games, you're a successful chef, so why did you decide to stream other than you have the perfect voice for radio? If you're there. Is he there?
Oh, I'm absolutely here, sir. Sorry,
okay.
I was getting some echo through my thing. Well, again, I was with Upload Studios at the beginning of the year. I never thought that anybody'd really care about my gaming, but in 2013 at the legendary E3 press conference, I was standing there. Phil Spencer was talking. He was saying, you gamers are going to be able to record your work and people are going to be able to see that. And I was like, wow, that'd be pretty cool. And so almost over a year ago, I shot this RPG. We were pinned down on Battlefield 4. This guy in this chopper was a madman. He was top level. He was blasting everybody, 65-0. The guy I was playing with, squad leader's like, somebody do something. I'm like, all right, I'm going to ride the elevator up. I'm going to jump off this building. I'm going to shove an RPG where the sun don't shine. And I did it. I went up there. You can literally see the video still to this day. It's my first video on my profile. I'm riding up in the elevator with the RPG. I knew what I was going to do. So about a week later after that, I get a contact from a studio from Microsoft in Soho, London. And they're like, hey, we're Upload Studios. We're looking for gamers that, kind of, meld with the community, do good action, and would you consider making like a walkthrough for us? And at 35 years old, I was like, yes! Oh my God! 20 years have gone by and I finally can do something with the industry. A walkthrough! So I did my 1-chapter walkthrough and I was so grateful. And, they just started asking me to do regular features. They made up a whole list called the Featured Creators. They put about 78 of us on there. All sorts of different people, different talents, different demographics. It was really cool. And, we just basically made clips for a year, and Microsoft occasionally would approach me and they'd be like, hey, would you make a clip like welcoming the community? And I'd actually get a message from like Xbox Live. I'd turn on my Xbox and it'd be like, hello, Chef, this is Xbox Live. Would you make a video for the community today? And I'm like, yes! Oh my God, yes! I'm like running through my house making fire engine noises and stuff. So after a couple of those, I got invited to E3. And it was like, it was just amazing. And so naturally after E3, I just, I looked and I had about 6,000 followers on here, and people were just like, hey, bro, I want to hang out with you daily. And Twitch is a great app for that. I mean, you get a lot of cool people in from around the world talking. It's amazing. Sorry, guys. Back to you. I could talk for days.
No, that's why we want you on the show, man. We know you can talk for days, dude. This is exciting for us, bro.
Awesome. And that's one of the things I want to say is I love being a part of such an amazing thing. Kudos to you guys for banding together, using your Xboxes, making an amazing podcast and an amazing Twitch group. It's totally welcoming. I'm going to support the 4 Guys with Gaming, 4 Guys with Quarters, I'm sorry, for sure. You guys are amazing. And so that's what we wanted. That's what Xbox wants to see out of the community. They want to see people using the Kinect. They want to see people doing podcasts. And I'm just it's awesome to be here, man. It's awesome to hang with you guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, before a year ago, none of us knew each other. Just about a year ago, we all met, through Twitch and stuff. So
that's awesome.
All through Xbox Twitch, and then we picked up Turtle along the way. But it's just awesome how Twitch brings people together, and like you make the the best of friends through gaming, and especially if you're really into gaming and you're able to do something like this after just coming together and being like, hey, let's just do something, let's get into the gaming industry somehow and just make a podcast or something. And now, I was just at PAX East, and you were there too, weren't you?
Oh, no, I didn't make the East Coast.
Oh, you didn't get there?
No, sir. I want to go. I would love to go sometime, but I want to do E3 this year again. That would be the big one. It's about 18 miles from here. Hey, developers, I'd love to go. Chef Big Willie. Hey, 4 Guys with Quarters would love to go too.
Yeah, we would.
We would. We'd love to go.
Yeah, man. We at PAX East, I went there and I told people about the show, and developers were all about me interviewing them and stuff, and we've been getting interviews up on our website and getting the ball rolling. What I mean? Yeah.
That's what it's all about. One of the best supporters of podcasts and independent podcasts is Phil Spencer himself.
Really? Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, we got to get in touch with him.
Yeah, you should definitely, that's the awesome thing about Twitter and social media, and that's another thing to get into be with an Xbox VIP was I embraced Twitter. I didn't even have a smartphone before last January. And my friend Alex Noon, he's a very successful uploader. You'll know him as Eric's on here. He's got over 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's an amazing individual. He was like, Chef, you got to get on Twitter. You got to get on Facebook if you ever want anybody to see anything you're doing. And the amazing thing is that I could make a clip, I could hit @Battlefield, and I could send them a clip, and they were responding. I mean, and again, with you guys, with your podcast, I would definitely be like @XP3, and that's Phil Spencer's, Twitter tag, and that's @XboxP3. And I'd send him a link and say, hey, check it out sometime, because he's an amazing supporter. Also, @Aaron Greenberg, the global community leader for Xbox. He's another amazing guy. Major Nelson does his own podcast. He doesn't really tweet too much with me, so I can't really say if he'd embrace it or not, but not to say that he wouldn't. I mean, and I'm definitely going to talk to my friend Crypto, guys, about getting him on here for you guys, too.
Oh,
and
dude, we'd love that.
Yeah, he's got about 20,000 followers, so it'd be really awesome to anything that's good for the community that I can say these guys are good for the community, I'm going to embrace. So definitely, I'll get the guy in here too. I'll try to bring in some people.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
All right, who's got the next question? Turtle or Assassin? You guys got a question for Big Willie?
Oh, I got one. I know you went to E3, FaxBox or whatever, but did they give you any other type of perks or anything that's worth mentioning?
Yeah, it was all expenses paid trip. I combined expenses and paid. Yeah, all expenses paid.
All
trip.
paid,
It was about $5,000 just for our lodging alone. I mean, the center city of LA is really expensive, and I mean, just to be taken to like after parties, and they paid for they put a black card down, like the mighty, as big as it could get. Like, all right, we're taking care of these guys. So we had everything paid for. So in that regard, there was a lot of perks in that. And then basically, like, I was invited to different preview program things way earlier than the average member of the community. Not that I'm above average in any way, but I mean, they just, like, as a person that's not really being involved with their community, I've been involved with everything from the start. So they've, like, had me, clip sharing or say being part of Upload 2.0 as early as, like, the beginning of December last year. So just stuff like that, no financial perks. There's no I have not made any fiduciary means or anything like that. I would love to. Believe me, I would love to make a living. I did.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I did have $400 offered for my Fizzy Air balloon, one of the last E3 Fizzy Air balloons. I believe there's like 7 left that still have air in them. Some guy's like, he's like, it's really cool. He's like, I got to have that for my daughter, bro. And I'm like, yeah, man, you come in my podcast, you make that donation and it get packed up. So we're waiting. I had another guy also offer me 200 euros for the light up bracelet that was unique to the Xbox briefing event, which was a really amazing event. Like, besides E3, that was at the Nokia Theater, so totally different spot. You're in there with your bracelet. It was synced to light up with games and music, and there was only 1,200 or something of them made. So yeah, I've had some offers on that too. Yeah,
wow.
So awesome. It's cool stuff like that. And hey, I don't want to sound. Gaming companies have given me some games and stuff. So. Yes, I'm very grateful. Yeah. Very, very, very grateful. Totally.
Of course. Totally I mean, to get their name out there and your viewership is big enough that people will come in if you're playing it and you give it kind words that and 10% of the people watching you at a time are gonna buy it, then that's 50 to 70 more sales, only like 10%. I've been on your channel one time. You've had 700 plus viewers before, so I mean, just to get a fraction of that viewership to buy their game, and that's extra sales for them.
Well, I have to say, I watched Chef play Zombie Army Trilogy because I was on the fence about it. I mean, I like Sniper Elite, and I was on the fence about it. But when I saw him play the game, I was like, oh man, I got to get this game. And I went out that day and I got that game, and I love it.
That's the ultimate compliment. That's what we're doing here. That's the dream. You know what? And to be honest about it, because you know what? I'm not paid by anybody. My views are my own. And I told the gamers, like, when I played Sherlock Holmes Crime and Punishment and they charged me $60 for that game, people are like, Chef, should I buy that or Destiny? I'm like, this game sucks. Don't buy it. And I got in trouble for that. I actually got a message from the developer, and they took my video down off upload because I had a video that had 5,000 hits saying, don't buy this game.
Wow.
But I had to be honest. They were charging $60 for that thing, and it was a flaming turd, dude. It was so bad.
We hear you. Yeah, we hear you.
Oh my God. And gamers, I take it so seriously on there because they're like, bro, Chef, it's my last $60, dude. Should I buy Hardline or should I buy, Dying Light? And I feel a responsibility. I got to be like, well, what do you like more? Do you like multiplayer? Do you like zombie co-op? I mean, what's your style, man? Do you have a Walking Dead poster of Rick on your wall right now? And that'll help me tell you what you need to do. Oh, man. It's good stuff. Yep.
You talked about the new upload experience. What do you think? You think it's a huge improvement, or do you think it's more approachable for people? Because I'll tell you personally, for me, and I do tons of video editing on my computer. I do all the video editing for the show and stuff, and I'm very familiar with a lot of Final Cut, stuff like that. So, but when I went to the Xbox to use the Upload Studio when it first came out, I was just like, yuck. I gotta be honest with you. I was just like, this is cumbersome and a little, too difficult for me to do with a controller. But then the new Upload Studio came out, and for me, it's night and day, man. So tell us what you think about the new Upload Studio. And
I think they've took the first model and they've completely improved it, and they've added some great innovations. I love seeing people doing clips where they're riding into spaceships into Destiny, or they're launching a start of a clip with like the guy from, Sunset Overdrive. That's awesome. I love that they've extended the length of clips now too. I think everything in that is proactive. I just, I guess because, the Soho studio was basically dissolved, the gentlemen that discovered me now are doing another project actually called Reload Game TV. And Upload is now in the hands of certain individuals up in Redmond, Washington. Mm-hmm. So I want to see, they took down the featured creators section and all that. And I was very, very grateful that they gave me a title of a VIP after that. I was like, okay, that's awesome. And they put us on like an area where people, when they get on their Xbox, it's like, these are people that are nice, So, hey, totally happy to be in that and totally grateful. At the same time, I'll always feel loyalty to people that were kind to me in a world where, they noticed me when, like I said, nobody would notice you. But I just think that it's always going to thrive. I think that up in Redmond, Washington, I think Microsoft's probably going to bring in a really large team. One thing I do know, and no put down to Microsoft and no put down to Original Upload, but is they only had about 7 people over there. So
whoa, really?
Yeah. So you can think of the amount of clips that were coming in daily from the community, and people were hard on them. They were like, look, I've sent you 5,000 clips. And they would never even give Upload a chance. Like, for instance, some guy might have made the most amazing clip ever, but he set it to music that was copyrighted. And he couldn't understand why they weren't playing copyrighted music.
Right.
And there was also still morality rules, like with profanity and stuff. So a little bit could fly, but, like if you were dropping the F-bomb, they weren't going to show it. So they got a bad rep. So I know that now there's like a team of like 200 working on it. So I think it's going to have, again, just much better results. So no disrespect to my friends over there in Soho, but at the same time, always happy to see Microsoft supporting their products,
Right, man. Yeah.
And I do have one last thing to say on that. Might be a little controversial, but I got to say it too.
Yeah, man.
They got to make some games for the Kinect. If they don't make something that's worth playing on there, I don't know if it's going to stay around. I worry for it, like the Kinect on the 360. I'm not, no disrespect to Fruit Ninja. I'm 36 years old. I'm not trying to make like a fruit salad. I would love to. How about like a Kung Fu Walking Dead game where I'm like Kung Fu and zombies or something? Dude, that I'm down with. Well, it's they have a product, and it seems like this whole part of the market, and they're not using it. I don't understand. It makes me a little nervous when you see a price drop on the system to $349, and all of a sudden it's got sales boosted, and nobody's talking about really any games for the Kinect. I just really would like it to stay around. So, yep, that's Chef Big Willie with his great fear. Don't go the way of the dinosaur, Kinect. I love you.
I gotta tell you, my girlfriend. This is kind of off topic, but kind of not. My girlfriend is in like the flag and banner business, and we did a trade show for like amusement parks, and I saw more of the Kinect used at that trade show than I did at PAX.
Right.
Because people are using it for like face cap and putting you in like monkey suits and stuff at amusement parks, and it's sad. It's sad.
I want to be in a monkey suit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think that it's something that if like it's not embraced this year, it's not going to be around in 2 years. You know what I mean? I think if it's something that serious development's put into it in the next year or two, the Kinect's going to be around for 5 years, or 10. It really feels like, when we expect a cool game and there's no game there, I'm no disrespect to Fruit Ninja. I'm sure it's amazing. Like people are out there fruity ninjas and stuff, but I want like fruit, like Walking Dead, like Run from the Dinosaur Jurassic Park awesomeness stuff, like bring me into it, involve me, let me fight ninjas or something. Make a game called Roadhouse. Grab the foot. I'm just something.
No, man. I mean, yeah, they're not getting into the hardcore audience enough of Kinect. That's essentially the issue.
I saw one game at E3 and it was so innovating, and it's literally two people are standing in front of their Kinect and they're rolling like a marble, like kind of like Marble Madness between the two of their bodies, using their body to move it across the screen. It was so amazing. And it's like, where'd that title go? No disrespect again. It was an amazing title. And literally what I'm talking about is you're facing your Kinect, your friend's facing their Kinect, and you're moving like an object between your two bodies, like as you move to the camera. And like if the ball falls off your shoulder, it falls to the ground. It's really intuitive, really cool. And
that sounds awesome.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Wow.
I've not seen anything since last June, so I'm like, hopefully it's coming.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Well, I just wanted to address your thing on the Kinect because I actually read some things from developers' blogs and stuff, and from what they've told me and the rumors that I've heard so far is that with the new push for Windows 10 and the new cross gaming compatibility between the PC and the Xbox One, the rumor is that the new SDKs are actually going to pull resources from the Kinect more into the game. So that's what
makes
I've heard.
sense.
They're taking some of the resources away from the Kinect, move it more towards cross-compatibility. But I agree with what you're saying, because someone like me, when I purchased my system, I got it with the Kinect at launch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sitting here, and the only time I ever use it is for Skype or record that. So that's what I use it for.
Right.
Well, another example I can give about it is I just went to buy a new Xbox the other day with a Kinect, and I literally had to go to
Couldn't
5
even find
different
one, right?
GameStops.
Yeah,
exactly.
man. Yeah.
I couldn't find one, and it just makes me nervous. I love it for a gamer like myself. That's where I got involved. And at the same time, I mean, I guess as long as I have one, I could still always Twitch and stuff like that, and all that. It's just, I think it's such an amazing tool that if the companies don't understand what they've got there, they're going to lose out. And the fact that they have a dedicated core group of gamers, I mean, a huge group of gamers that they want to record their clips. They want to be involved. They want to play the games that are involving it. And so, yeah, we'd love to see the Kinect get some more games. Definitely. So what have you guys been playing?
There we go. I've been playing Hardline. Gotta say I love it. Assassin kills me a lot in Hardline. Inferno always outscores me in Hardline. So I'm like the lowest on the totem pole in Hardline out of our group, but I still love it.
Yeah, so with Hardline, Willie, what do you think of it compared to BF4?
Well, yeah, that's another great question. You have Hardline, like, you know, with the cops and robbers, and I got into the single player on it today, and I gotta be honest, I cannot wait to play the Hardline single player again. It was like so much fun, like arresting guys and stealthing through maps and stuff like that. It definitely a different game than Battlefield 4, but not bad at anything. I like, to me, anytime we got more Battlefield, I'm like, yes, give me another portion. May I have more, please? It's good. And then you got, again, like we were talking about, you have really innovative modes like Hotwire and Heist and stuff. So I look at Hardline as a standalone entity. I look at Battlefield 4 as the game that if I want to get up in the air and fight jets and fight a huge battle, I'm putting in Battlefield 4. If I want to do like close quarter combat, sniping, race car driving, and crazy overall gameplay, I'm probably going to play Hardline at the moment. But I don't think either one of them take away from each other. And again, like I said, anytime we could have more Battlefield, I'm down. And I was really surprised by the story, just the way they used like actors that I'm recognizing from series like The Supernatural or Bones or, you know, NCIS or CSI, and I'm like, oh man, that's the bad guy from CSI. He's totally going to be like a jerkbag in this, and then sure enough, there he is. It's like it's just really well done. Again, you know, one of the things that I couldn't help but stress on is the EA Pass let us get the game at $50.
Yeah, man.
So 10 hours early, I got the game for $53 digitally, And people are like, oh, that should have been an expansion for Battlefield 4. Well, there's no way it could have been because it's a different studio brought in. It's not just DICE. Visceral Studios worked on the single-player part of the game. DICE worked on the multiplayer mechanic, and then they co-worked on both things a lot. Like with vehicle mechanics, teams were brought in from Need for Speed and stuff. And that's why the car driving feels so precise. Everything feels so precise. At the same time, yeah, I mean, I can't wait for Battlefield 5. Get me up in the air fighting jets. I hope there's 4 jets at a time in Battlefield 5. But I love Hardline for what it is, a cops and robbers game. The sound of the police.
It's the sound of the police. Yep. So you're more of a Battlefield guy than COD, would you say?
Well, originally I actually started out playing COD competitively. The first game I played competitively was Rainbow Six Vegas. I was playing. Well, actually, the first game I played competitively was Counter-Strike back in the day on the computer.
Yes.
But the console for me was Rainbow Six Vegas. And then naturally, I stepped into COD. I was playing with a really ferocious group of just like diehard gamers, the kind of guys that when they lost, they were not happy. We were banned a lot. I was just banned because I was in the room with those guys. But yeah, we'd play all through the night. I was about 26, 27. I had my own house. I had a 100 meg connection when most people didn't. When most people had, like,
that's better than my connection right now, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, Jesus. I have 100 megs here now where I'm at, and I just was able to get it here. But at the old spot, yeah, we were able to do FiOS, so it was amazing. Like I had 3 Xbox 360s running it all the time, no problem. Wow, and it was amazing. But and the house was just dedicated to gaming. It was 3 bachelor guys that all we did was just game, So yeah, man. We had a lot of fun. One of the middle guy, Kyle, had a 120-inch projector. So like I'd be like, dude, you're the best sniper ever on Call of Duty 4.
Yeah,
and he'd be like, dude, come into my room, bro. And
his head's 4 feet high, right?
The guy's head's the size of a pumpkin on his wall, dude. He's like, yeah, man. Of course, the refresh rates were a little longer. He'd always get mad because the guys using the 9.1 aspect monitors would waste him, and he'd be like, I don't know how that guy's cheating, cheetah. But yeah, it's just I love COD, but at the same time, Battlefield provides for so much more that until COD changes, I'm going to be a Battlefield guy. And what I mean is I just, make it 12 on 12 COD, make it a little bit bigger maps, maybe some NPC vehicles. How about a tank starts on one side of the map, moves through the other side has a helicopter, maybe you can get to a mounted gun, take something out, I don't know, trip them out. But that whole spawn, run 5 feet, shoot a guy, no. I'm on Battlefield, man. I won't be in a tank or in a jet or hopefully in a submarine soon.
Oh wow,
Chef in a single-man submarine.
That would be sick. They need to do that. They need to bring subs in.
Sure. And that's one thing I want to point out too with Hardline. Look at just how much the innovation of that grappling hook and the zip line have changed that game. Yeah. People are getting like a static position up in the LA hills. Then all of a sudden you see 2 guys zip line up, boom, they've made a flanking position. It allows for an amazing, that's the best part for me about what can happen in the multiplayer, just, whoa, look what that guy dude, he just drove the fuel truck through the front door and blew the whole house up type shit. Excuse my French.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. Yeah, that's what's got me. That's definitely got me interested. And yeah, so if I had to rate the games, I would give Battlefield 4 a 9.5. Maybe just because it's had some technical issues and stuff, 1.5 point loss. If I had to rate Hardline for my first, 12 hours of it, I would give it a solid 8.5. Couple little things that, maybe if they put a biplane in there that I could shoot down with the RPG or something, hey, I gotta shoot a jet or something.
Yep.
But definitely good. Definitely good.
Turtle, speak up, buddy. We haven't heard from you.
I've been having a little bit of technical issues with Skype.
Oh, are you alright? Keep quiet then.
Well,
I'm kidding. Go ahead, Turtle.
Go to the corner,
Talk to us.
Go to the corner.
Talk to us, Turtle. What do you have to say?
I don't know. I was just going to say, I kind of want to think of Hardline as kind of like a spin-off of Battlefield. There's going to be Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5, kind of like how Bad Company was,
Yeah, no,
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Like Hardline kind of
sure.
like a spin-off and not a main entry title.
They could be trying mechanics in Hardline that are going to be in Battlefield 5. Things like the grappling hook, for instance, or maybe damage to the vehicles, which you don't see in Battlefield 4. But again, like you just said, the way they used Bad Company was to test for Battlefield 3. They tested the Frostbite engine in all its forms before they perfected it and made the amazing game that Battlefield 3 was. I mean, I still have friends playing it. They're like, I'll never buy a 1 until they take Battlefield 3 from my cold dead hand. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's, dude, my buddy's on there. I'm like, bro, I shot down 500 jets on Battlefield 4. He's like, I shot down 1,500 on Battlefield 3. So, again, I think they might use parts of Hardline to always strengthen the community. And I think Hardline was an attempt to bring in a movie-esque story theme. Like, where Battlefield 4 had a really good war theme, I think Hardline was an attempt to, like, make, like, people said I beat Battlefield 4 in 4 hours on the hardest mode. I've already spent 7 hours on Hardline's story. I'm about halfway through it. So already it just feels way more tangible and way more exciting for a replay. I never replayed Battlefield 4 story once, but I'm going to be doing my second playthrough of Hardlines probably in the next couple days. So I just feel like the two games are different, but the same, but not, like, never taken from each other. Like, the same in the goodness of the gunplay, but different in the story presentation and obviously the cops and robbers mechanic.
Right.
But
What I was gonna say is I agree with you on the Hardline story. I think it's fantastic. I think it's amazing because it's one story where I would actually buy DLC to continue that story. Like, that's how much I love the Hardline single player story. I really love it.
Well, that's supposed to be in Premium, right? Isn't part of Premium one of the DLCs is going to be a story-based expansion? Or am I wrong with it?
No, there's they said that's why they're doing it episodic, and also there's all sorts of rumors that the storyline is going to have a presentation from the other side, so that you'll see what was taking place from, like, the criminal cartel's point, playing like a hitman or something. So I really want to see what DICE does. Again, if they do something like that, if Visceral and DICE do support the game in more than just skins and simple maps, oh my God, that game will be legend for a longest time.
Agreed.
That's another aspect of what Hardline's going to be, how they support it. Today it launched in Europe and in the United Kingdom, and yesterday they took down the servers for over an hour to test server capacity, and I was on it today, it was running fine. So if they support it like that, if they put the time into it, it'll be one of those titles that people go, where's Hardline 2?
Yeah, man.
I would.
I
was gonna say I would definitely love to see more of the campaign instead of just, like, getting new maps for multiplayer. You know, kind of switch things up a little.
Agreed.
Yeah, dude. You know, I was not. These guys know, Chef, but you don't. That I was not very warm on Hardline after playing the beta. I was kind of like, you know, this is not Battlefield. Give me back my Battlefield. This is not Battlefield. And you know, I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I got EA access because those 10 hours convinced me, you know, to pick up Hardline, and you know, I've loved every minute of playing it so far.
Agreed.
And I think without EA access, I wouldn't even had it by now. I would have just said screw it and probably not picked it up for like a month or something. You know.
Have you guys seen Ori and the Blind Forest, the Xbox exclusive?
Yes.
Have you guys got it? Oh, is it? Did you guys like? You know, I'm 36, so I was talking about it the other day in my stream. How back in the day, you know, all we had was side scrollers. We didn't have first-person shooters. So I was from that generation where, you know, Bonk's Adventure, Mario. You know, that's what
Oh
was
my
big.
God! I got to stop you right there. Bonk's Adventure,
man.
I played that. I played that for Inferno and Assassin.
Yeah,
on Twitch.
dude. That game is so solid.
Oh yeah, man. That was TurboGrafx 16 Splatterhouse, man.
Yeah,
Those
man.
were the days.
Yep.
For sure.
Oh, good stuff.
For sure. Hey, yeah, and so Ori and the Blind Forest, Moon Studios, you know, most of these games you see developed in like a year or two. Ori and the Blind Forest, they spent over 4 years with. Now, I was following it back in the day in 2010 when they formed up, and I was like, no, Ori and the Blind Forest, I don't know. But last year when I saw it at E3, it got Best Platformer and Best in Show for overall experience, And I mean, I knew it was going to be a tearjerker. I just didn't know that as a Microsoft exclusive, I was literally going to be like crying in like the first 5 minutes from the game, just because it brought back all the great memories of like Bambi, The Lion King, Iron Giant, like all in one like playable game. And then for a $20 price tag, oh my God. So I've really been enjoying streaming that and loving it, and then just it reminds me of like games like Metroid and Castlevania. So it's like in my mind I'm like, dude, I remember this 25 years ago eating a bag of Cheetos and my dad being like, Cheeto Man, go outside and play. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna beat Metroid. and that's the kind of memories that Ori's bringing back.
Brings you
for
back,
me.
man. Yeah, brings you back. I hear you.
Yeah, and it definitely is an emotional game because like one of our friends got the game and was like, you gotta play this. And I woke up one morning, like I think it was morning the game was released. I started the game up and I was like, okay, let's see what this is about. And like 5 minutes later, I was like, you know what, it's too early for this.
Yeah, I remember, Turtle, you came into the party and you were like, you and Cody were like, yeah, bring the tissues within the first 10 minutes. This is an emotional one.
I cried. I was not expecting it. Literally, dude, I'm pretty desensitized, but I've got 100 people watching me. I'm starting up. People are like, Chef, what's that game about? And I'm like, well, is we're seeing Ori's bond with Neru, who's like adopted Ori as the mother form. And then I'm like watching it, and like Ori's got those big doe Bambi eyes and like struggling to climb one more inch. And I'm like, hold on 1 second, gamers. Are you right? I have something in my eye. Technical difficulty.
Pause button on the stream.
Dude. People were like, it's okay, Chef, my kids and me are crying right now, get it out. And I'm like having like a snot moment on Twitch with 100 people in it. You know what? I thought people, I swear to God, I looked over at my followers and thought I'd see like 20 people in there after that. And it jumped up to 150. I guess just seeing how it naturally just really real emotion, they were like, we like that, Chef. Cry for more for us. Cry again. Hey, Chef, I donated $5. Cry some more. I was like, all right, I'm crying.
Of course. Who knew Twitch would be the platform for crying men?
Yes.
Men
get it all out, Chef.
Crying over their games. Okay. What were you gonna say, Cons?
I was going to say, I know it's a little bit off topic from what we just discussed in Ori and the Blind Forest, but I was just thinking to myself, since, you know, you are a professional chef and you've done it for over 15 years, if, like, you can open up a gaming-themed restaurant, that would be badass. Go ahead.
I have a friend that's a pro rapper, and his name's Complex, and you'll see him on here, and I'll get him to be a guest on your show. He's an amazing guy.
Yeah,
he's actually a pro rapper on the streets of New York. And we've talked a lot about doing maybe a restaurant called Battle Raps. And I'd make we'd have like a center console kitchen where I'd be in the center of the restaurant. He'd be up on stage like introducing like 2 young up and coming rappers. And then it would be battle raps, like pita raps. Like I'd be making quick pita raps, but we would also have all sorts of games in there, you know, pool tables, old school, like, you know, arcade games. And one of the things I'm seeing out here in LA, that guys, this is huge right now. People are buying arcades and they're leasing them out private party style to people, and it's like $4.99 a person per hour, but it's huge. You know, they put in 100 games, and it's revitalizing the arcade industry.
Wow,
I'm
man.
laughing. People are having wine tastings in there. I've been invited to do some cooking demonstrations in them. Definitely kind of stuff I'm going to get up on my Twitter and stuff, and you know, you know, that's the dream. I've also thought about doing a food truck too that would have maybe like an Xbox on the side of it.
A couple Xboxes on the bag, nice.
My friend runs a limo company, and he's got Xbox 360s in his limos, and it's so funny because every once in a while I'll catch a ride home from a party, and there'll be just people like, whoa, dude, they're sitting there playing like Splinter Cell, you know, oh yeah, you know, LAN partying in a limo, you know, guys that otherwise never would play it. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, you know, the gaming industry, people, we when we were kids, when I was a kid, my mom was like, oh my God, I spent $700 on the Panasonic 3DO when I was 17.
I remember that.
I got thrown out of my house. I got thrown out. I had to go play it at my friend's house for 2 weeks before my mom would let me back home, dude. Because that's your college money. And now, you know, to see parents embracing their kids, like my son's a pro league gamer, and you know, it's just the industry now is the time. It's bigger than the film industry. Now you can, you know, make your own game. Now you can make your own podcast. It's just that now's the time. It's the most friendly time to gamers.
And that's something I would definitely like to circle back around to Microsoft too, is because I think with this generation, you know, as at least this past year, they started really listening to the gamer community and all these ID at Xbox games that are like becoming huge and very dev friendly. I think this is a huge thing for the whole community in general, and it
Agreed.
just, I mean, it's just gonna make us have so many games to play. It's unbelievable. I just can't wait for the future of it.
Our global community leader, Aaron Greenberg, he's amazing. He'll tweet with you regularly. He listens to the community. I regularly tune into Major Nelson's podcast. He's often a guest on there. And you know what? They know that they want to compete with Sony, you know, and the Sony PSN network has 100 million people. Our Xbox Live network, we have about 50 million. So we're about halfway there. But they're doing it. You know, they're trying to launch these systems in places like China and Japan, which traditionally are not friendly to U.S. consoles. And just in the fact that in Japan alone, the PlayStation 4, besides tax breaks and stuff in selling it, it's a national thing of pride to buy it. So, like, they're trying to climb uphill into these industries, and I'm excited. You know, I really am. I think that there's room for everyone at the table in gaming. I think that the PlayStation 4 makes the Xbox stronger. I think the Xbox One makes the PlayStation 4 stronger. I think if you don't have competition, it would get stale. Prices would go down, or prices would go up, and you'd get bad games. You know, and so
Absolutely.
Overall, I think competition drives the innovation that keeps the industry fresh and popping. And I'm not gonna lie, I have a PlayStation 4 in my house. I mean, hey, it's a great system.
Yeah, a couple of these guys do too. Yeah, Turtle and Assassin.
It's all
do.
about
Yeah.
the games, you know.
Yeah.
So, hey, and then that's the other thing is, I know it's never gonna happen, but God, I would love to see either Xbox or Sony just figure out a way to buy Nintendo. Just buy Nintendo and grow Link up. Let's see a mature rated Link. Let's see Link running through Grand Theft Auto Hyrule. Something. Come on, man.
Mark this episode down. This is getting juicy. All right, let's get let's get into hardcore Nintendo games. Yeah, dude.
I'm just saying, man. Bring back Mario. Bring them all back. But you know, nobody. I can't even play a Nintendo game anymore. I bought like the last 3 systems, and it's like. They got like I gotta like hold the remote above my head while like toggling the joystick, and I don't know. I miss the old legends.
Now,
I wish they'd bring that.
Hold on, before we get into this, clowns. Hold on. We got a few things in the chat that I want to bring up. Jizzle says $700 back then was holy bleep money. So rightfully so that you got thrown out. Is that what you're trying to say, Jizzle?
Tell Jizzle I also bought a Neo Geo for $900 the following year. So
Jeez. Yeah, dude. Yeah, systems back then. Yeah, systems back then were so expensive. And then J Street says competition makes everybody work harder. Yeah, I totally agree. That's what we're saying here, man. That's what we're saying here. And then Maverick about the topic we're about to discuss, the Nintendo thing. Mature Pokemon for the win.
Woo! Agreed.
All right,
Pikachu is back, and now he's pissed. This time, it's personal.
Klaus, what were you gonna say, man?
I was just gonna say, you know, Chef, I'm 35. I know I don't sound it, but I'm 35. So I kind of grew up with the same type of systems that you've seen launch as well. And I had the 3DO, I had the Dreamcast, I had the Jaguar. My dad spoiled the hell out of me with video games, so I was very fortunate because my dad was a pizza guy, so he owned a couple pizza places, and I got lucky with it. But my favorite system of all time, when we talk about Nintendo's got to be the Super Nintendo. I really loved the hell out of that thing when Street Fighter came out. What did you think of that? That was
great.
system?
You know, it's interesting about this, and I remember waiting in line for my Street Fighter copy. And do you remember how the Street Fighter or the Super Nintendo pad only had 4 buttons? So there was immediately those top bumpers became like, whoa, I'm used to the 3. Oh man! But yeah, that was that was a big one for me. with the Super Nintendo, it would definitely be Super Metroid, and also A Link to the Past.
Oh, I love that game.
I would also say Final Fantasy. Which was that? Final Fantasy 2 here in America and Final Fantasy 4 in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
There were things in those games when I was playing them, and I often talk about it in my Twitch. Now we can experience that with people, those emotions when you're going through it, when, you know, like Ori and the Blind Forest and stuff. But at the time, I'd be telling my friends, I'd be like, man, dude, Pommy and Pommy just sacrificed themselves last night so I could beat Zoomeros on Final Fantasy 2. I cried for 15 minutes. My friends are like, dude, oh my God, just don't say that today at lunch, bro. Not in front of any girls, please. Just please, bro. Just please, Chef. They call me Chef. They call me Willie. Just please, Willie.
Please.
I'll be like, all right, bro. Okay. But can I talk about, like, how about I talk about my PlayStation? No. Don't talk about your PlayStation. All right, fine. But yeah, you know, the emotions, I think as we build ourselves, as we grow up, you know, we develop our identities and what we relate to. And the stories, if you really read the text, if you really played the dialogues in those games, were so legendary and so full of love and like friendship and honor and like revenge and duty that it just shaped like naturally like how I grew up. I mean, I'm not saying I'm like Captain America, not that I'm just saying that my natural love of people in gaming and stuff came out of those early games, those early experiences. You know, when my uncle died in A Link to the Past, and I was like, whoa, I gotta go make this right. You know, it was just so good. People are like, thanks, Chef, you spoiled Link for the Past for me. God damn it.
Spoilers.
Do you think with the indie scene now, you think we're getting back to those days of really heartfelt stories and the stories really mattering over the graphics? Because, you know, like back when, you know, PS2 and 64 days and even a little before that, like it was all about 32 bits. No, I'm 64 bits. No, I'm 128 bits. Oh, who's got the best graphics? And then stories and games kind of got lost from, you know, the generation we were just talking about with the SNES and the Genesis and stuff. So you think we're getting back to that with these indies?
Agreed. Absolutely. I think that like the young gamers are now finding their voices, getting older, and we're going, you know, what do we remember? What defined us in the past? What memories do we have? And again, you know, I'm not talking about, dude, there was this time I shot a guy in Call of Duty 4 with a grenade launcher from across the map. And sure, that stuff's all awesome, but I can remember, you know, stuff from Final Fantasy. I can remember text, not graphically, but I can remember the lines written from that because at the time it so emotionally involved me. And sure, nowadays, I think that we went through a period where a lot of people were trying to define themselves as like the best of the best in games. And like playing Call of Duty, that like, dude, bro, you suck, you know, after the match type thing really made a lot of elder gamers like me, and not that I'm so old or anything, but I just mean gamers that were like, bro, I don't want to have all that negative emotion, kind of turned off to it. It kind of made us look back to those days. What made those classic side scrollers great? What made those classic RPGs must plays? And again, we're seeing them all come back now. You know, the best things of the past. As soon as I was playing Ori and the Blind Forest, and I jumped up and I got that energy container, and I watched that other energy container, I was immediately transported back to 1989, playing Metroid, and I was like, oh, you know, that was that emotion there. And sure, I mean, like, dude, shooting down a jet, hitting the most legendary shot nowadays with the flashy graphics, making a clip about it, getting 10,000 views is amazing, but I would never want to ever not have done, you know, A Link to the Past or Metroid or Mario or any of those games that I think really set where our personas came out of. Like a lot of stuff we identified with, like even Solid Snake was based off like Snake Plissken and, you know, Escape from New York. So when I showed that to my dad's not a gamer, but he immediately understood that reference. He's like, Snake Plissken, that's for Escape from New York. That guy's got an eye patch. Is Kurt Russell in this? And I'm like, no, Dad, this is Metal Gear. It's a tribute to that, you know, and it's that kind of stuff. You know, I could talk again all day. Blah, 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 blah. I could just go on. Chef goes on. He's the Energizer Bunny.
You really are, man. You really are. But I love it. Dude,
Thanks, bud.
No, this is what makes successful streamers and, evangelizers, if you will, for video games and stuff on Twitch. I mean, you gotta be able to, be enthusiastic about what you're talking about. For sure.
Love it.
I mean, what else? We did have a couple more topics we wanted to talk about within this time frame, if that's okay.
Sure, I'm loving it.
Before we get to the next topic, Clowns, you had a last question you wanted to ask?
I don't remember because
right,
I got all
it.
excited.
You know what? Yeah, you're getting all excited over there. I'll ask, what do you think of that new video game movie Pixels that just got a new trailer?
Huge Adam Sandler fan. Yeah.
Is that the best? That's the best you can say about it. I'm guessing.
I haven't even seen. All I've seen is Adam Sandler Pixels. I only saw a little bit. I haven't even seen a trailer for it.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch the new. You gotta watch the new trailer for it.
Hold on, I'll look it up on YouTube right now. I got my phone right here. I'm going on to YouTube.
Do it because Adam Sandler. Who else is in it?
Kevin James.
Kevin James. Thank you.
Yep.
Kevin James.
I love Kevin James. He's so funny.
So
that
like
dude from Game of Thrones also.
Peter Dinklage.
Who is this assassin?
Peter Dinklage or whatever his name is.
Peter Dinklage.
Oh, okay. The guy that was like the little I always forget his name. Not Joffrey. The dude that was like the midget guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So while you're looking that up, we'll go on to the next thing really quick. What did we want to hit next? Holy cow. So the Borderlands Handsome Collection's coming out soon. Willie, are you a fan of Borderlands at all?
Absolutely. Huge fan. Can't wait to play it next week. Never got to play it except for at E3 last year, and I immediately fell in love with it. At E3 last year, I loved Borderlands 2. But as soon as I played the prequel and I jumped on the moon and my guy soared like 15 feet in the air higher than a normal Borderlands jump, which is already awesome as is, that mechanic added to it just immediately made the movement of the game. I just felt right at home. I was like, oh yeah, this is good.
How about, so they just announced the way that you can transfer saves. And it's actually pretty easy, but you have to have both consoles. You have to have your Xbox 360, you have to go onto that, upload it, or your PS3, upload it to the cloud, then go on your Xbox One or your PS4, download that.
There hasn't been a game this year that or anything that they've said was transferable between systems that hasn't been like that. Diablo was the same thing. You had to go to the Blizzard's net for it, and also the same thing with was that
true with
Grand Theft
Minecraft?
Auto?
You had to upload your world with Minecraft as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, dude, I think that kind of sucks. Like, not that people, are getting rid of their systems anyway, because I think a lot of people who have Xbox Ones kept their 360s for some of the older games, but I mean, there are some people like Assassin on the show that regret selling his, and now if he had a save on his Borderlands, he wouldn't be able to transfer it. That kind of sucks.
Yep.
I regret selling mine. I'm one of those. I never got to play South Park Stick of Truth.
Yes.
I never got to play Grand Theft Auto 5 till this year. So when I was on GTA, people were like, Chef, come play GTA with me. Then they shot me, teabagged me, ran me over with their car. I had a pistol. They had an AK-47 and body armor. It was a horrible experience for me. Not that the game's horrible. I'm just saying that not having played it against the game's amazing, by the way. Grand Theft Auto is solid 10. I love the experience, but when you go into a game where people have played it for a year and you jump into multiplayer the first time, yeah, that was not fun. It was not a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I'm in that same boat. Like anything I tried to recover, they're like, no, your data for Diablo's not there anymore. This, that, and I was like, oh, okay, well.
Well, luckily, Borderlands 2 is a game that is so damn good that you'll play over again. It doesn't really matter, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
See, that's why I'm debating even doing the transfer, to be honest. I'm thinking about not even doing it. I mean, I have my 360 sitting here. I have my Borderlands 2 copy, no problem with that. I can do the transfer. But, you know, the only thing that would benefit me is, you know, if you transfer a save, you get 75 golden keys. Like, obviously I want that, but, you know, maybe not use that with my old character, use it with a new one, you know? I don't know. I don't know if they're incentive by offering 75 golden keys for transferring your character. I mean, I would think that they would want people to play it through again, and it kind of like makes me think that they don't. I don't know.
Well, you need to play it through it again for the achievements, though. But
true, good call. Yeah, the achievements don't unlock automatically. Go ahead.
I can see the issue. I can understand Assassin's position on this. I mean, people that don't have the system kind of feel like down and left out on this situation. But you got to think about it, too. We went from last generation that you had to enable cloud save on that. And if you didn't enable cloud save, your data wasn't in the cloud.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You didn't just have it out of the box, yeah.
So that wasn't... It's not like they did that on purpose. It's more like... Well, did you enable cloud save when you played 360? And most people probably say no because they didn't know how to do it or didn't know about it. You know?
Right.
I'm in that boat. Me, guilty. I didn't know. I just want to let you guys know I watched that Pixel trailer. Oh my God! Pac-Man's a bad guy.
Yep.
That's so good.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even know that movie existed until Turtle sent me that message. It was you, Turtle, right?
Yeah.
Sent me the message about with the YouTube trailer. I was like, "What the hell is this?" I thought it was fake at first. Like, I started watching the trailer about 10 seconds in before they showed Sandler or whatever. I'm like, "This is fake." And then Sandler, it's gotta be real.
Dude, awesome idea.
That just proves that Sandler's a gamer. That proves that Adam Sandler is a gamer right there.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you know he's sitting at his home with his Xbox or whatever and playing games every once in a while.
Well, sure. Look at Grandma's Boy. I mean, he supported that, and that movie was totally game-centric. And they also did a really good job of, like, representing the game industry and studios. What's funny is, little side note, back in the day, Shiny Studios was literally right above my work. So I would literally walk from Dennis Rodman's restaurant. I was working at Rodman's, and I'd walk over and see Shiny Studios was above a place called the Crow's Nest where my father was working. So I walk over there, and I'd hear this boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And so one day I walked up the stairs, looked through the door, and they had a life-size Jenga in there. They were playing Jenga life-size in Shiny Studios. And I was like, dude, that looks awesome. And they're like, who are you? And I'm like, well, I'm Bill's son, Willie. And they're like, oh, yeah, we know your dad. Your dad's awesome. Everybody used to call my dad the Pirate of Newport Beach. And at the time, Shiny Studios was right there above the Crow's Nest in Newport. So they're like, yeah, your dad's awesome. Because Billy's by the beach was right next door. There's a restaurant. And my dad would always buy them drinks. So they're like, come on in. So I was playing MDK before I even knew what the hell MDK was.
Oh,
I
that
just
game
knew
was
it was an
legendary,
amazing game.
Yeah, that game was like, legendary.
Dude, it was legend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I always thought the Grandma's Boy, with the way they showed that studio with everybody like relaxing, like chilling, young guys, that's exactly how Shiny Studio was. It was like dudes that were 16 years old and dudes that were hippies that were 60. It was cool. It was a cool experience. Cool.
Yeah, dude. Pixels, I'm on the fence about it. I'm going to go see it for sure because I'm a gamer, but I don't know. It could either do really well or tank for me, I think.
It could be like Gamer. It could be like the movie Gamer.
Yes, like the movie Gamer. Exactly.
Wait, hold on. Let's watch Super Mario Brothers right now, even though I love it because Bob Hoskins was in it. Yes. So I'm like, this movie rocks!
Oh, yeah. What else we got before we get out of here? I mean, I've got a ton of more topics, but we don't have the time, so let's just hit the big ones. Such as Farming Simulator 15 coming to Xbox and PlayStation in May. You excited about that, Big Willie? You play any of the Goat Simulator or Farming Simulator? You ever played those?
I don't even know what the hell you're asking me.
Dude,
is it a video game?
Do you know Goat Simulator?
I know Goat Simulator.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm joking. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's farm it up. Let's Goat Simulate it up. Let's. You know, it's again. it's like people are like, Chef, can I send you a clip from Minecraft? And I'm like, absolutely, because to me, it doesn't matter what an IP is. I don't always have to play first-person shooters, kill, kill, kill.
Right.
I know that I'm comfortable enough that I can cry playing Ori or play Goat Simulator and not feel bad about my experience. Just enjoy it for the IP that it is, you know?
Exactly.
Be like, you know, I'm comfortable enough to play this. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, clearly there's an audience for this. This thing sold like 1 million copies in less than like 6 months or something on PC.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is gonna sell. I mean, I wonder how much it's gonna cost.
I think we'll see it for 20. It was pretty reasonable. Maybe less. Maybe $9.99. But I don't see we'll see us paying more than 20. I don't think. Maybe. I don't know.
All right. Assassin's big into Goat Simulator, right, Assassin?
Who doesn't want to be a goat? I mean, come on.
You're right, dude. No, when Goat Simulator comes to this console, I'm getting it. Farming Simulator, you might have to pull my leg on that one, but Goat Simulator, 100%.
I have Goat Simulator on the PC, and I remember the first time I played it, I got 5 minutes into it, I was like, what am I playing?
Yeah, dude.
I was having fun with it, but at the same time, I was like, what? I just didn't have words for it.
Well, Chef, I'll say that Assassin can take any game and turn it into a kill game. Because with Farming Simulator, he might try to take the tractor and run over the cows in the meadow or something. When I played Minecraft with Assassin, I had this nice big farm. I built up all these animals. Everything was all peaceful. Everybody's all lovey-dovey. And here comes Assassin, blows up my whole farm and eats my animals.
Yes! Oh my, that's crazy but awesome. I call that crossum. Crazy awesome.
Crossum. Don't trademark that. I want to use that.
You may, sir.
Thank you.
I'd be honored.
Thank you. Appreciate it. What else did I have for the show that we can get to before we gotta get out of here? Willie, did you play Dying Light at all? Are you a fan of Dying Light or Dead Island or anything like that?
I love Dying Light. Dead Island Riptide was a little nyeh, but Dying Light, they totally redeemed Techland Studios for me. And just in the fact that I bought it kind of hesitantly, I was like, and it was like playing The Walking Dead. Literally, I made a video about it, and I come up to this gas station, and it's like, survivors inside, and there's all these bad guys around all of a sudden. I'm like chopping zombies' heads off, and I'm like literally, you'll see commonly a bracelet, WWJD, what would Jesus do? Nice. Well, immediately I was like, I need WWRD. What would Rick do? Rick would kick some butt. So I started getting my Rick Grimes on, just dropping zombies left and right. And that's a total reference to Walking Dead. Everybody's the leader. And so I was like, all right. And the whole atmosphere, like I crawled in through the roof. And I'm like, what kind of survivors? Did somebody make it? And some zombie lurched at me from around the corner. I just chopped off his head. Oh, my God. They could have just called that Dying Light presents The Walking Dead. Because, dude, that's the kind of Walking Dead experience I want. I love Telltale's Walking Dead. Nothing could ever take away from Clementine or how beautiful that game is. Mm-hmm. But I want a first-person shooter Walking Dead. I want to have Daryl and Rick's back. I want to storm places. Give it to me like an MMO. However you do it, I'll buy it. Sell it to me episodically. It's like that old Fry thing from Futurama. Just take my money. Take my money now. Or it's just take my money when he's at the ice store. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So they announced this week that it's now their most successful game, because even though Dead Island sold more copies over the lifespan, within 45 days this did 3.2 million sales, Dying Light. So obviously people are still into this kind of thing, because you were right, like Dead Island Riptide, as Dead Island got long in the tooth, people were kind of like this game style and genre is kind of but then Dying Light comes out and people are into it again, and obviously people are loving it because so many people bought it in 45 days since launch. 3.2 million sales.
The one thing I have to say on it, and why I was kind of hard on Riptide, is I didn't like that I could be doing 80 in my boat and a zombie could be running in neck-deep water and pull me out of my boat that was doing 80. That mechanic in itself showed me that it was a little rushed, I'm not with Dying Light, with Dead Island Riptide too, but with Dying Light, it just felt like they polished every bit of that game. It was supposed to come out last April. They delayed it, and it feels like that delay was to work out the connectivity in the multiplayer, to work out the zombie invasion mechanic. I give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. It is the best zombie experience I've had, I would say, as far as a cooperative zombie game goes. You know, I'm really enjoying like the Resident Evil remake and stuff like that for the nostalgia, but Dying Light's like, if you and your buddies want to be like, bro, let's play Walking Dead, there you go, dude. It's like you and 4 guys, and then you got that one friend that wants to come in as a zombie and eat all you guys. Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah,
bro.
man. Yeah, we actually got an opportunity to play. What's the mode called again? I can't remember. The multiplayer mode against the hunter.
Invasion?
Yep.
Yeah, Invasion, the Night Invasion. Yeah, with Techland developers.
Mossy
Whoa.
J, aka Matt. Yeah, we got to play with Matt, aka Mossy J.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
awesome,
yeah,
guys.
It was real.
That's
It was
rad.
really awesome. We got to interview him and ask him a bunch of questions on the game and stuff, and man, it was awesome, dude. And you know, like I wasn't even into these types of games, but like, you know, like you said, the co-op experience and just the new take on, you know, Dead Island and stuff just makes it for me.
I gotta give you guys props. 4 Guys with Quarters. This is one of the best podcasts I've ever been involved with. You guys do a great job. Don't be surprised that developers are going to come to you guys. You're going to get more. You guys just keep this podcast up with this atmosphere. You can count on any time that you guys ask me back, I'm going to be coming back. And I'll also tell my friends that this is a hell of a podcast with some great people. Really proud. You know, this is what I like to see from the Xbox Live community. Gamers that, you know, approach it as adults. And not just that, though. It's always cool to be young kids and game and have fun. But gamers that say, you know what, I want to make more with my Xbox. I want to take my Xbox to the next level, connect with the XBL community. You know what, guys? You guys are great. This is the 4 Guys with Quarters podcast is amazing.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yeah. I mean,
I know.
Oh, go ahead.
I know this might be going off a little bit off topic, but what you just said, Chef, was amazing because when Inferno went to PAX and he wore a 4 Guys with Quarters shirt, Inferno would tell him about 2 or 3 devs.
So I got shirts made, and I was wearing like a crew neck sweatshirt with our logo on it. And when I went up and talked to some of the developers, they're like, you know what? I downloaded your show and I watched it, and it was really good. So like the guys from Clapfoot Games who are making like a 1950s tower defense kind of game. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's called, I think it's called Fortified. Yeah, Fortified. I got to interview them, and I went up to them, and they're like, you know what? I watched your show, and it was really good. And, you know, that was an awesome feeling, like, to have those people, you know, check out our show. So yeah, we appreciate the support, man. We really do. Other than that, I don't think there's anything really pressing that I wanted to get to. Usually we go over like the new releases that came out and stuff, but you know, we've been talking for an hour and almost 10 minutes now, which is crazy. You guys have any more questions for him before we get out of here?
What games are you looking forward to in the 2015 year?
Oh, okay, definitely Halo 5. I mean, the Legends is going to be, you know, definitely. I'm hoping that we see The Division this year.
Yes.
If we see Quantum Break, you know, rumors are it's going all the way back to 2016, so we might not see it. So
no.
Quantum Break, of course, I love Remedy Studios. I'm a huge Max Payne fan, a huge Alan Wake fan, so I just love to see that game.
I know where did you hear that? Don't tell me that's true. Did you really hear that? Come on.
What?
About Quantum Break? That's not coming out this year, maybe?
It should be this year, this fourth quarter this year. But again, there's no guarantee because they're really, if you know Remedy Games, sir, they do not rush. Look at Alan Wake. Alan Wake had like an 8-year. They were planning Alan Wake like conceptually on like the N64 or something, dude.
Right.
So Remedy, they flesh out their time. and usually they work in support roles with companies like Rockstar. Rockstar brings Remedy in a lot to like do stuff with like the Max Payne franchises and different franchises and work on like different support roles. And then another game, of course, that I'm just so excited for is going to be this September 1st, and that is Metal Gear 5. Sign me up. I can't wait to play it all day long. I love it. And I can't wait to see how they bring Boss's story around. And bringing in Kiefer Sutherland, just great. You know what? Hey, it's Jack Bauer voicing Boss. Oh, yeah.
So you play Ground Zeroes, obviously, if you're looking forward to Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, I've spent a little time with it. I got to spend a lot more time with it. I actually have 2 profiles, and I bought Ground Zeroes on my other profile because I was having a little profile error about the time it came out last year. So I actually have to rebuy it for this profile and blast through it again. I haven't played it in about a year, so I wouldn't want to say, yeah, I'm beast at Ground Zeroes or anything. But yeah, it's cool. Definitely
cool. It was a good taste.
Beautiful.
I didn't play through the whole thing, but my brother's a bigger Metal Gear fan than I am, and he was playing it, and I was like, wow, damn, this looks really good. This looks way better than, when the game came out and they were like, oh, you can beat it in 8 minutes, like, what kind of game is this? But when he was playing it and it took him, an hour to do it, it looked really cool. It looked really cool. So
I think you could do that with like any game if you wanted to. You could just run in and start shooting things.
Right, man.
But when you get into those gameplay mechanics, like I was doing it with Hardline today, I was taking the time to arrest the perps. I could shoot them with my shotgun, you're arrested 870 style, but I was actually taking the time, draw down on them, handcuff them, and if I wanted to run through it, I could, but you got to play the game to enjoy those mechanics. Those cool moments.
Right. Total, you got something? I see you over there, kind of pensive.
I was thinking about all the games coming out this year, and I gotta say one that I'm really looking forward to is Battlefront, that I know I've mentioned so many times on the show before.
Right.
And
yeah, Battlefront.
I was reading earlier where I don't know, it's like a Star Wars weekend or whatever that they're having soon. They're going to finally show off Battlefront.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's gonna be a good day.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to tune into that. I'm sure everyone will be talking about that, though. Everyone's going to have that video up and be, like, giving their own angle on it. Like, look at this little shadow in the background. Tell me what that means. Like, tell us what that hint is. You know what I mean? Like, dissecting it and stuff. So, that's cool. You a big Battlefront fan, Willie?
Absolutely. I with Battlefront, for me, I just want to see how they incorporate the Jedis. Battlefront 2 is amazing. And the rumor is the Jedis are going to be in there. And if you played like classic games like, Jedi Temple or Jedi Outcast, and you did that like multiplayer that were in there, sometimes it was LAN multiplayer. But, I would love to see it that like, say like you got to like a 20 kill streak and they were like, the Force is with you. Out comes a lightsaber or something. Yep. And you're just wasting guys at that point. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to see with it, where I'm just like, oh, force choke, force lightning, force choke, force lightning, force throw, force lightning, force choke. Oh, you're a Wookiee, you're on fire. Oh, the Wookiee's on fire, look at him on fire. Yes, Jedi teabag, Jedi teabag. Oh, this guy has his arm's falling off. Yes, I'm just saying, give it to me like that, and I'll play it all day long. Absolutely.
Nice.
But I want to see how they incorporate that mechanic, because to me a Jedi should be like basically like the Dynasty Warrior guy, like there's guys, just Force lightning.
All right, we'll get out of here with this last topic, really quick. There are a bunch of new releases this week, but you said you were a fan of the Telltale series, so tell us what you think of the Tales of the Borderlands series. That episode 2 just came out. What was that, yesterday it came out?
Yep.
So, Tales of the Borderlands, you've been playing that at all, Chef?
I actually have not had any hands-on time with it. It's one of the few games that I have not actually gone with, but I have watched it, and it's visceral. It's mature. It might look like a cartoon, but when they were like cutting out the guy's eye the other day, I was like, oh my god, dude, like that's intense. So I love that they've done that. I love that they've made an episodic series. I have nothing but respect for Telltale. Seeing how big they've grown since they did the Walking Dead series, and actually playing a game that they did before that, which when they redid Jurassic Park on the 360 was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And now their studio's tripled in size, and they're putting out 3 games at once. They've got their Game of Thrones, they've got the Walking Dead, and they're actually doing, the Borderlands thing.
Borderlands, the new Minecraft one they're gonna be coming out with.
Yeah,
they're off the charts, man.
They're definitely getting it done, and they're putting out good products. People would not play their games if they weren't good. And dude, like, you want to talk about tears? I mean, The Walking Dead. I never thought they could make me identify so much with, a young African American girl. I mean, in my life, I'm a 36-year-old male, but like playing as Clementine and seeing that struggle through her eyes. It was like the most amazing pixelated experience that, like, when I talk about gamers, like, where we're just gamers and there's nothing to it, it was still like I felt so fragile and weak, and they did such a great job, but at the same time triumphing with her when she overcame impossible odds. Oh, such a great game.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And Telltale does that.
You felt so vulnerable too, especially in the episode where you're on the train as Clementine. You just really felt that vulnerability there, and I almost cried.
I don't want to spoil the ending of the first game, obviously, but even the choices that you had to make at the ending of the first game was like just my heart was ripped from my chest. It's like they doing a great job.
Yeah, there was so many times near the end of the first season where I was just like pausing the game to make my decision. I would just like pause the game, sit there, and like I'd be like, do I really want to do this or do I want to go with this? And just
exactly.
Yeah, man. I got to tell you, from with the Borderlands one, I'm not sure it's as sentimental. I don't know. Like, I haven't played The Walking Dead all the way through, so I don't know. But with the Borderlands one, I don't know. Maybe if it's because like the Borderlands series came out before that, and it was really like run and gun and a lot of gore, or whether or not it's just not as sentimental. But for some reason, for me, like, yeah, the story is awesome, but the sentimentality isn't as there as The Walking Dead. I don't know. If that makes sense.
Agreed. No, absolutely. It makes it does. It has that kind of like they're mercenaries. They're finding out what happened. It's post Jack era, and it's definitely, I agree. It's 2 different types of series. Like The Walking Dead is, to me, like this almost like hopeless series, and then you see rays of hope in like Clementine and even in the TV series, and whereas the Borderlands is kind of like if I was a space pirate, like, yeah, we're space pirates, let's jack all these guys, loot.
Yeah, man. Well, that just shows like how versatile Telltale is, because like Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us kind of like had the same sentiment, like not the same, but similar, sentimental themes going for them, and then you get Tales of the Borderlands and Game of Thrones, and it's kind of like, whoa, like they can spin it a whole different way, and kudos to Telltale for doing that, man.
Agreed.
All right, well, I think we gotta call it now, because it's like been an hour and 20 minutes, and people who are listening to this later on iTunes are going to kill me. And Turtle always tells me it goes way over the hour that it's supposed to be, but this time, for good reason. We had an awesome guest here, so I gotta say again, thank you so much, Chef Big Willie. And if you guys haven't seen his stream, his Twitch is just Chef Big Willie, all one word, right, Chef?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And his other information's been cycling below his picture up there. So Chef_Big Willie for his Twitter. And sorry, Chef. I don't know if this was okay, but I gave out your Xbox gamer tag as well.
Oh, it's absolutely fine. You know what? I just want to again say it's amazing to see how professional and how well you guys have done this. You know what? You guys have put together a great podcast that is seriously discussing awesome topics in this community, in the XBL community. You guys are going to go far. Just keep it up. Just keep working at it. And you know what? I'm super impressed, guys. Great job. The Four Guys with Quarters. What an amazing podcast. And I'm definitely going to be subscribing and tuning in on your Twitch. You guys are awesome.
Awesome, man. Yeah, dude.
Thanks,
We'll definitely have to have you back, every
honored.
few months or something. We can talk about the latest stuff going on and check up on how you're doing and how your stream's going and how chef life is and all that.
Awesome. If you guys would like, I'd like to get you added up also as friends on Xbox. Sometime we'll get a game in when you guys... All right.
Absolutely. All right. So everyone who watched, thank you very much. If you watched on Twitch, our handle is 4GwQPodcast on Twitch. If you can't catch us live, you know how it is, Thursday, 8 o'clock. Sometimes it's a tough time, but, you can find us on YouTube. Our channels are always archived there. 4GwQPodcast is our YouTube channel handle. You can also find us on iTunes, though it's only audio right now, but we'll work on it. 4GwQPodcast on iTunes, so subscribe to us there. What else are we on, clowns? We're on Pocket Cast, Spreaker, TuneIn.
And we're working with iHeartRadio to try to get on there as well.
So go find us on there, 4GwQPodcast. Just search us.
And these four guys rock, gamers. Chef Big Willie approves.
Chef Big Willie approved. I need to get like a stamp or something for the next time.
I approve, man. You guys are awesome.
All right, and also we're on Facebook and Twitter. Obviously you got to be, as Chef Willie said earlier in the episode, you got to be on those too. So, 4GwQPodcast is our Facebook, and 4GwQPodcast is our Twitter. So check us out there. And so thanks for watching again, and we will catch you guys later. Peace.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.